A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I want A plus English, 'cause it's so much fun. English education for you and everyone, so come along. Learn some grammar, learn a phrase, learn something new every day. Learn the A plus way. Hey, it's time to start the show. Are you ready? Good, 'cause here we go. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I want A plus English.
Hello everyone, welcome to A Plus English. I'm Mike.
I'm Betty.
And we are back here with day 2 of our little trip to Okinawa. It's only 2 hours away by plane.
Right, it's very close.
Very convenient. Anyone can go there. And of course, once you go there, you'll probably feel quite at home. A lot of Taiwanese people love going to Japan. The food is very popular, right? And we learned about some of the cool places you can go, like the Churaumi Aquarium.
Correct.
Sounds great. They have whale sharks, manta rays, and a giant tunnel where you can feel like you're walking on the bottom of the ocean, which is absolutely fantastic. And as you go around Okinawa, we also learned about these very special little lions, like lion dogs.
Right? Yeah, very cool creature you are familiar with.
Exactly. And where would we find them?
Temples mostly, and also on the, is this a test for me? On the roof?
Yeah, on a roof.
On the roof,
right?
Yeah.
And by the door of places. I guess you'd probably find them by places you might expect, like temples or office buildings, but maybe also homes might have them.
That's pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
We don't have them really here.
It would be kind of fun. You could go
yeah.
around with your friends and everyone gets a point for each Shisa lion. I see one! And the person who gets the most, I don't know, wins a bowl of ramen or something like that. But yeah, you could definitely have a good time looking for Shisa lions as you go around Okinawa. And we will continue going around Okinawa today as we learn more about some fun things to do on this island that is called the Hawaii of Japan by Japanese people, but it's also just called a fun place to go by people from all around the world.
Yeah, and let's not forget the grammar we're still doing today. Okay, 所以呢，如果我们要讲说 the school is going to hold a party tomorrow， 这个意思是学校明天会办派对，对不对？那如果我们只是纯粹要讲说不知道是谁办的，但是呢，我们就要讲说明天有派对的话，英文要怎么说？没有人办哦，所以可能你不能用 hold 这个单字，那你会怎么说呢？
Okay, so let's get to our article.
Discover the beautiful island of Okinawa.
Besides beautiful nature, Okinawa also has a rich history. Shuri Castle is a famous place there. It once played an important role in the Ryukyu Kingdom. The castle shows both Japanese and Chinese styles. A few years ago, a fire destroyed part of Shuri Castle. People are trying to fix it and still working on it today.
All right, so the article today begins besides beautiful nature, which we read a little bit about yesterday, but it is a very beautiful island. But besides the beautiful nature, Okinawa also has a rich history. It is a small island, or actually I think it's a small group of islands. There's several other little islands nearby. But when we say it has a rich history, we're kind of saying it has a long and interesting history. There's a lot of history to learn and explore and discover in this place, even though it is quite small and it's right there in the middle of the ocean.
Did you go on any history tour?
We kind of didn't. I was there playing music with one of my groups.
Really? It's true?
Yeah,
I thought you were joking.
No, I'm not. I don't lie to people. We were playing music, so we were only there for about 4 days, and we played 3 shows in 4 days. So we were quite busy, and we were in one area. We were kind of in the American Village area. So we did get to the capital city for one afternoon for some shopping, but we didn't see much. And in fact, one of the places we didn't get to go, they had a bit of a disaster a few years later.
Yeah.
So this is another
pity,
reason
right?
I've always wanted to go back. Yeah.
Okay, so 我们看一下哈，就是这个地方呢，它前面在讲哦，除了美丽的自然景色之外 ，besides 它后面它是包括的、哦，所以这个是有的。除了美丽的自然景色之外呢，它还有很丰富的历史。Rich 在这边呢不是很有钱哦，是很丰富的意思。Rich flavor 丰富的这个口味啊 ，OK 都可以用 rich.
Yeah, there's a lot there to enjoy in the rich flavor and the rich history, whatever it might be. So let's learn about that history and the place I just mentioned. Shuri Castle is a famous place there. It absolutely is. It was there for many, many years. And as we mentioned, they had a bit of a problem a few years ago.
And I can tell you a little bit about this Shuri Castle.
Please do.
It's Chinese 首里城,
Okay.
right? And so you do know a little bit of Chinese, right?
Sure.
A little bit. 首里. And if you translate it into English, it could be following the rules, right? Yeah.
Following the rules castle.
So the Chinese characters, they're a little bit different now, but legends has it that when like ambassadors in China, they visited this place, they changed the name from 首里 to following the rules, another different way of expressing it. 所以它会从首里城的首里变成守礼节的那个守礼。那这是因为它跟中国的关系哦。那中国有的时候使臣来的时候，他就想要表现说，我们真的很有礼貌，很尊敬对方的意思。所以呢，这还蛮有趣的。
There you go, some fascinating background. Let's learn about it. What it says in the article. That's Shuri Castle, once played an important role in the Ryukyu Kingdom, which of course was the kingdom there founded and based in Okinawa. So this was the main castle, and I guess the king of the Ryukyu Islands, the Ryukyu people, would have lived in that castle for hundreds of years.
对，因为琉球人其实呢，跟日本现在本岛的人呢，他们其实在血缘上呢有一点点相关，但是呢，因为他们后来因为他们是小岛嘛，有点独立出来，所以就有自己的方言啊、文化。这里要稍微注意哦 ，play a role in something 是扮演什么样的角色，你可以加 play an important role in something.
There you go. As you would expect a castle to play an important role in the history of a kingdom, right? The castle, it says, shows both Japanese and Chinese styles. And, you know, when you see where Okinawa is on a map, it's near Japan, but it's also near Taiwan. It's not too far from China. It kind of makes sense that they would have this influence, these cultures from all the neighboring countries would sort of come together.
Right. So back in those days, it was like the middle ground. People like went there from Japan, from China to, you know, of course, to do business with each other. So it's a very important, island back in those days. About 500 years ago? I'm not sure, but back in those days.
Yes, absolutely. And not that long ago, but just a few years ago, like, I don't know, 10 years ago, I'm guessing around that. A few years ago, a fire destroyed part of Shuri Castle. It was very, very sad. Like a lot of those old buildings in Japan, a lot of them are made of wood.
Yeah.
Right? Osaka Castle. A few years ago, I was at Kumamoto Castle in southern Japan, and they'd had a fire, I believe, maybe caused by lightning or something. They were building it again. And of course, when fires come in, these old buildings made of wood, it's not good, right? A lot of the building can be destroyed very quickly. And of course, a lot of them, they don't have modern firefighting equipment around. So a lot of the castle was destroyed. It was burnt down, and that's why they're still fixing it.
Yeah, for me, it is a pity because my mom visited Shuri Castle 2 times.
Oh, no.
But me, no.
Why didn't she take you?
Because she didn't want to do this, apparently.
Oh, that's too bad. Well, when they finish rebuilding, you should go back.
I'm looking forward to it,
Maybe
actually.
take your mom.
No.
Okay.
Okay, so destroy 这边是比较难的单词哦，摧毁、损毁的意思。
Now, don't worry. People are trying to fix it. We shouldn't say that. People are fixing it, and they're still working on it today. It's an old building, and of course, a lot of the workers that made this type of building, they're not alive anymore. So it takes a long time to rebuild these places. Of course, the famous church in Paris, Notre Dame, that had the big fire, right? They're rebuilding that, and that takes a long time, and they need very special workers with very special skills. But I do think I saw something. So we're now in 2025.
Right.
I think maybe next year
really?
or in 2027. I think they're hoping that the reconstruction of Shuri Castle will be finished. So don't worry, it's not going to take another 20 years, maybe another year or two, maybe 5 years, but not too far in the future. You, us, we, everyone will be able to go back to the brand new Shuri Castle that looks like the Shuri Castle from hundreds of years ago.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
好的，那我们来看一下单字哦。第一个是 besides， 那同学要注意，它那个 s 要放上去哦。如果你 s 没有放上去，它是另外一个单字哦。然后呢，这个是介系词的意思，就是除了什么什么之外。那同学帮我括号一下，写它是有包含的哦，就是它不是那种除了它之外，大家都要去远足这种除了。这个除了是不包含，就他没有要去的意思。那这个 besides 有要去，所以我们来看一下例句。比如说呢，除了英文，我也学日文，所以两个都学，就是 besides English, I also study Japanese。那我们来看一下哈，比如说呢，除了狗狗之外呢，我也喜欢猫和鸟啊。Besides dogs, I also like cats and birds。所以 besides 很常跟 also 一起用，就是还怎么怎么样，对不对？除了这个还怎么怎么样。好，那接下来是很重要的单词哦。Rich 不只是有钱，还有那种丰富的、富有的。比如说呢，台湾有丰富的文化和历史。Taiwan has a rich culture of history。我再念一次，不好意思，老师刚才念错了，老师刚才太紧张了。Taiwan has a rich culture and history。台湾有丰富的文化和历史，所以 rich 的话呢，它可以跟 culture 文化一起用，或者是 history 历史。那我们单字例句你会发现哦，这种丰富呢，还有可以跟 traditions 一起使用。我们来看一下这个例句哦。This town has a rich culture and many traditions。所以它有很丰富的文化，还有很多的传统。所以这几个字呢，很常跟 rich 搭配使用。Some of them started hundreds of years ago。其中呢有一些已经有数百年的历史了。好，再来我们来看一下 style 这个单字哦，这个单字是风格的意思。比如说呢 ，her clothing style is very modern， 她的穿衣风格呢很现代我们可以讲人的这个风格 clothing style 穿衣风格。好，那我们来看一下例句的部分哦。I love the style of Nancy's house。我很喜欢 Nancy 家的风格，所以风格不只讲人讲家里讲东西也可以哦。It's simple but interesting。虽然简约呢，可是呢富有巧思哦 ，interesting 很有趣的感觉。好的，那我们来看一下文法的部分，比如说呢 ，both A and B 两者都怎么怎么样，这个是国中呢很重要的一个文法。好，那同学通常A 和 B 都有，所以它的动词要接复数哦，你就把它想象成 and， 它本来就是两个都加起来嘛，对不对？所以动词要用复数，一个加另外一个就是两个了。那还有一个很常考就是 not only A。But also B， 那这个就有一点难了，因为呢两个意思是一样的，可是呢你那个动词如果是这个，你要用这个 not only but also 的话，动词要看靠近动词的那一个主词，就是 but also B 的 B 是单数还是复数。好，举个例子有点复杂。好，我们用 both A and B。Both Tom and Jerry love cheese。汤姆跟杰瑞都喜欢cheese，对不对？那我们这边呢 ，Tom and Jerry 两个人，所以 love 不用加 s， 好不好？可是呢，我只要把它换一下 ，Not only Tom but also Jerry。哎呦，那我们现在就要看这个 love 谁靠近 love？Jerry 这个名词，对不对 ？Jerry 是单数复数，单数，所以呢 ，Not only Tom but also Jerry loves cheese， 要小心哦。好的，那我们这个阶段的复习就到这边为止喽。
In fall, the city of Naha holds the Naha Great Tug of War Festival. Teams from different areas pull on a giant rope across the street. Each team carries a special and tall flag. After the competition, people cut up the rope and take a piece home. They believe it brings good luck.
All right, so as we record this, we're already heading into the end of the summer and the beginning of the fall, but that might be a great time to visit Okinawa. It's good any time of the year, but as we read in the fall, right now, in fall, the city of Naha holds the Naha Great Tug of War Festival. Oh my gosh, sign me up. So we're going to Naha. This is the capital city. So if you fly to Okinawa, you'll probably land at the airport near Naha. And in that city, in Naha, you will enjoy, at this time of year, the Great Tug of War Festival. I mean, I'm not a huge tug of war fan, but having teams from around the world tugging and pulling and warring together, that sounds fun.
Do you know how it actually works? How
you
big the
pull
rope
on
is?
A rope.
the rope is so
It's
thick that people can
huge.
stand on it.
It's a
amazing.
massive rope. We might even call it a cable.
Right. And a very thick one. So it's very fun.
And when they do it, they're very organized. Like
Right.
these teams are very, very well prepared.
It was so special because it's not like any tug of war you probably have ever seen in your school time. And yeah, I don't know there is a tug of war for adults, but I guess, yeah.
Taiwan is actually really good at tug of war. They often
that's true.
They often win world championships and stuff.
Oh, so I'm never a big fan of any sports, but I think it's so fun. Yeah, I can join the crowd and pretend that I'm actually doing things without doing things. It's fun.
Definitely fun. And you'd probably have to go. I don't know if they would be showing this on TV, on the sports channel along with NBA and MLB and stuff. But if you're ever in Naha, you could definitely, at this time of year, you can definitely check out the Great Tug of War World Championships. That would be a lot of fun.
好，那我们现在来解答一下这个文法的问题哦。刚开始的时候我们有说啊 ，The school is going to hold a party tomorrow。但是如果要讲说，不要讲学校，我们只要讲说明天有派对，英文该怎么讲呢？这个时候主词我们就要换成 a party。OK， 那你的动词不可以用 hold 了，就要 a party is going to take place at school tomorrow. Take place 很重要，也没有被动，它就是东西 take place 发生了，就这样。
There you go. It's going to take place. It's going to happen. That might be another useful word. Let's learn about the Great Tug of War Festival. Teams from different areas pull on a giant rope across the street. Oh, okay. So it's if it's different areas, this gives me the idea that it might just be Okinawa teams, maybe not teams from around the world. It might just be teams from the island or the city or something. And a lot of times in Japan, they have these festivals with different neighborhoods, right? Putting on big temple things and stuff. And they try to pull a giant rope. Well, that's a tug of war. And in this case, they do it across the street.
I'm just wondering if teams are just like 2 teams or teams like 10 teams pulling different directions.
It's at least 4, because if it's just 2, it would be one war and then it's over. Everyone go have lunch. So I imagine it's probably 4, 8, 12, something like that teams. So then they can all battle against each other.
对，那这个其实很有趣哦。他说呢，他会用很长的这个绳索，差不多多长呢？200公尺，很重，43吨。同学可以去看影片，真的是很壮观哦。然后开始进行拔河，那大家也不会拉那个绳索，因为它太粗了。他们会拿一个尖尖的东西刺那个绳索，然后呢就拉那个棍子的地方，就很有趣。
All right. Now, they do have tug of war, as we said, as a proper sport in the World Games and things like that. This one sounds a little different. Maybe it's a little more Okinawa traditional. It says each team carries a special and tall flag. That's not something you would see in a normal tug of war competition, but you will see this in Okinawa. So each team will have a special and tall flag, probably with a unique special design on it. And that helps people know who is fighting, who is warring or tugging against who.
好，那这里面跟同学补充一个小知识哦，就是每个队伍呢都有不同的旗帜，那每一个旗帜就是一个地区。那我刚才有个问题嘛，到底是几组呢？哦，共有14个地区参赛，所以每个地区都有自己的旗帜，当然它就是自己的旗帜就有自己的意涵跟象征哦，所以很有趣。
Of course, that goes back to the old tradition of warriors in Japan having flags when they fought so they can understand who's who, which armies are who, and whose enemy is where and all that stuff. So they do the same sort of thing. And then it says, after the competition, people cut up the rope and take a piece home. I like that. That's kind of nice. That's kind of like at the end of a basketball game or a soccer game, the players sometimes trade shirts, right? As a little souvenir, as a little like, thank you, good game, that kind of thing. So if you're in one of these battles, these tug of wars, you get to take a piece of the rope home with you as a little souvenir.
Right, I think it's very fun because, it has some depth into it. It's not just a tug of war.
Right,
and you
or
get
just a t-shirt or something like that.
And you get a piece of that and that brings you luck and you keep it in your wallet or something.
Nice, yeah. You can have a collection over a few years.
Right. 这里有个比较难的单词 competition 它的字比较长，同学多念几次好不好 competition 比赛的意思。
So this would, of course, be a nice souvenir, a nice memory of the tug of war that you were a part of, but there might actually be a more special meaning. It says they, the people there, they believe it brings good luck. So that little piece of rope, it'll bring them good luck. Keep it in your home, keep it in your office, wherever, and it will bring good luck to you and your life.
Right. A lot of things we talk about today and yesterday are actually about like luck and fortune and tradition and culture. It's so fun.
We talked about it being rich in history, and it definitely is. And a lot of these traditions tell us exactly that.
好，那同学来到了学习单字的时间啦。这个 giant 巨大的，同学要记得哦，因为我们这个捷安特嘛，大家都知道这个字 giant， 记得它的发音哦 ，giant 那个 I， 发音有点奇怪。比如说呢，公园中央有一棵巨大的树 ，There is a giant tree in the middle of the park。那我们这个单字例句也来给同学念一下 ：In South America。There are giant spiders， 听起来很可怕，对不对？南美洲有巨大的蜘蛛 ，They can eat birds and snakes， 它们竟然可以吃掉鸟类还有蛇类哦。好，补充一个小文法，我们有讲 cut up， 我们是不是说棋子啊、剪碎啊、带回家，对不对？那同学要记得，它是一个片语，它是一个可分、可拆式的哦，所以你的这个东西呢，要放在这个 cut。什么什么 up 放中间，或者是 cut up something 放后面都是可以的哦。我们举一个例子给同学，比如说呢，把这些菜啊切碎做成沙拉。Please cut up the vegetables for the salad。同学试试看，如果把它放中间呢 ，Please cut the vegetables up for the salad。好，那这就是我们这阶段的文法小复习，还有单字小复习啦。
Review time.
Okay, so we've got the aquarium, we've got the little guardian lions, of course, the Shuri Castle, which you have to check out. And if you're there in fall, why not go to that tug of war festival? Speaking of that, would you ever participate in a big sports festival competition tournament like that one? Maybe not tug of war, something else. Or maybe you said you're not much of a sports person, maybe some kind of other game.
Like what kind of game? Never. It's like high school nightmare.
Or chess or
computer game chess. Probably okay, but for me, sports games like high school nightmares all over again.
No, not
I'm
your
never
thing?
very good at running.
What would be one kind of game or activity like that where you can compete that you would really be like, oh yeah, I'll try that. That sounds fun.
When I was in high school, I just lot at every kind of sports competition. So not gonna go back. Probably I can, like there is one fun game. You can step into like a big bag and then you jump to the other side.
Oh, okay.
That sort of game
is... The potato sack race.
Yeah, that's the one.
Well,
I probably...
you can do that. I think they have that a lot of things. I don't know if there's like a professional... There probably is actually a professional potato sack racing league. I'm not sure about it in Taiwan. Maybe you can start it.
Probably I can be really good at that, right? Since probably not many people would participate in the first place.
There you go. For at least the first year, you would be the champion until someone who's actually really strong and fast would come and beat you. So that would be a good one to choose. What about you guys? Is there some kind of game? Maybe it's a sport, more traditional, or maybe it's something else like playing chess or pinball or darts or pool or who knows what. Something that you love so much you think, I could definitely enter that and maybe even win. Have a chat about that. We'll see you back here with more good stuff. Until then, all the best. Take care and bye-bye.
Bye-bye. 同学，等一下我们要来讲一下今天的主题，同学们觉得很精彩呢？还没有完。因为呢，如果同学有兴趣的话，可以到空中家教和老师同学一起线上聊更多。现在才是拜拜。
Sayonara.
Sayonara.
There you go.
Bye bye.
Sayonara.